Yeah, what's good, everybody? So we are back tomorrow. Game against Everton, away at Everton. Should be a mint game, to be fair. They're going to come at us out the forward-thinking team, really. Ancelotti plays a decent brand of football and that, doesn't he? Bielsa spoke quite highly of him. As you would do, Ancelotti's ace, and he's been all around world and that, won everywhere he's been. The sixth in league at minute. They're obviously playing really well. They're going to come at us. They're going to come out. They're not just going to sit back like Arsenal last week. I reckon it's going to be a proper game, this. It could go either way. I reckon we'll win 2-1. That's the guess. I said that last week. It was 0-0, so, but I'm going to stick by my 2-1s. It'll be a tough game. I think we can win just because they come out. They've got some mint attackers, haven't they? Like Calvert-Lewin's in proper form. He's looking good. That Richarlison, who were a bit hit and miss initially, but he looks mint. And obviously that James Rodriguez guy come from Real Madrid. He's been with Ancelotti a few times, I think, him. He looks like a proper class footballer, him. So, yeah, it's going to be a good game. But I reckon we're going to win, because I'm going to say that every week. I just think we can beat anybody in the league, I really do. And I think on his day, if we play anything like we did against Arsenal, I can't see how we can lose, really. You know, take a couple more chances. Well, take any chance, and we're gonna, you know, yeah, waffling. Pablo's still injured. I'm not 100% convinced about all that. It's a bit alarming, that, I think. Just after shit that sort of kicked off when he came off at pitch, we haven't seen him since. So Llorente, there's still can't see no news on him coming back. The only thing I did read was they reckon he'll be back in December. That's what I've heard. Because there's like 6 games in December or something. There's like, obviously, as we get towards Christmas, the games really ramp up. So they reckon, what I was reading in Leeds Live, they reckon that he will feature in one of them 6 games. And yeah, Shackleton's still injured, but other than that, we have got a full squad. So in reality, you've got to be pretty happy that Phillips has got through 90 minutes, played really well. He's there. Rodrigo's back. Raf were out the other week. He's back. So we do have a full squad, really, because Llorente is a new player. He hasn't played for us yet, so it's going to be like a new signing when he comes back. Pablo was always going to play a bit part this year anyway, but just due to the fact he's a bit older and the pace of the game and stuff, and not knocking, because obviously he can keep up with the pace of the game. I just mean he's going to be used more as a sub and stuff, really. There's going to be an interesting dynamic tomorrow, though, because there's obviously Alioski, Dallas, Rodrigo and Raf. Now, I think Raf will start again, because I thought he was quality. But I also think Rodrigo will start, and apparently what I've been reading, he's really impressed in training, which doesn't surprise me. I think he's come. Rodrigo and Raf have come to this club to start, and there is no two ways about that. They want to start every single week, and that will be organised and sorted in the contract talks, you would imagine, out where they're going to use them and how often they're going to use them. But my only thing is, if Rodrigo comes back in, obviously if Raf starts, he just starts instead of Costa again. But if Rodrigo comes back in, Dallas moves back to left back and Alioski gets dropped. Now, normally, I love Alioski, but normally I think sometimes he's better off coming on as a sub, as like an impact player. But he's been mint, really. He's more of a false 9 than a left back. But he's he's been mint. He's been really active and he's so up and down the pitch and that. I know Dallas is, but it's a different. He's a pure left-footed sort of left winger, isn't he? Left wing back rather. So that's an interesting dynamic. So it'll be a bit harsh on Alioski, but I can't see him dropping Dallas. So I think Dallas will come into left back, and also when Dallas is at left back, we're a bit more rigid. So he's not going to play Rodrigo and Alioski, I wouldn't imagine, just because they're obviously very forward thinking. And as a left back, Dallas is going to get forward, but he's going to hold. And he sort of, when we've got the ball in possession, he comes into the centre, doesn't he? So there's that as well. I noticed when Rodrigo and Bamford really started playing with each other, like the second game that Rodrigo started, Rodrigo and Bamford actually swap when we're out of possession. So a lot of the time, Rodrigo will further forward than Bamford. only when we're out of possession. So I just think it's whoever's closest to the ball actually goes and does that sort of 10 role, which is cool. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on the game. Do you reckon Alioski is the one to go, or do you reckon he still won't start with Rodrigo and go with what we went with last week? Just seems harsh not to go with what we went with last week just because of how good we were. But I think that Rodrigo coming into the side just gives us that extra firepower and clinicalness and bit of creativity that we didn't lack last week. But I just think we'd have maybe got over the line had we had a couple more players that can sort of just bang a few goals in. Because all the chances fell to Dallas early doors, didn't the last time, apart from that one with Bamford, and even and I don't just mean chances on goal, I mean like people crossing it in, it was Dallas, and that's because he's everywhere on the pitch. But sometimes you just need that extra bit of quality. Dallas said that himself after the game. He said it's something he's trying to work on because he's so hard working and stuff. He's so he's so useful for the team. But just a random point as well. Bielsa's piled the praise on Click, which is I love Click. He's my favourite player, but he's piled it on. Said that he could play for any team, any big team in the world, pretty much, and he's at Leeds by chance. So we should be grateful to have him, which I've always thought anyway. I think Click's ace. So originally when he got here, apparently he asked Click if he could play centre back, and then Ronaldo Vieira, however you say it, he left, and then Forshaw were getting injured and stuff, so the number 8 role came up more, and he were like, we need to use Click there, so that's the sole reason why Click's there. He might have ended up being a centre back, which is pretty nuts to think with how good he is, in and around box. So yeah. And then my final point is Bielsa's apparently gone absolutely mental. Been reading about he's absolutely furious that some clubs are allowed fans back in. Like Liverpool, he's gone crazy saying that they're allowed a certain amount of fans in, but we're not. And he reckons that that's a disadvantage, which it kind of is. I get his point. But if 4,000 people in, I don't really think it's going to put anybody off necessarily. I don't think that's an intimidating environment. But I understand... it's not a fair rule, is it? Still, I'm not allowed to go watch a football game, but they are, just because they're in a whatever tier, and I just think it's fucking daft, all this stuff. Just either let them back in to some extent or don't. But that's a total different fucking kettle of fish, in it, which I don't want to bang on about. So yeah, what do we all reckon? What do we reckon the score's going to be? Come on, Leeds. I'm buzzing now. I'm so happy that we're back. After international break, and that just kills me. It's like, yes, let's go. And I've got a busy week, and then it's Friday again, and I'm like, bang, right, we're in. Yeah, so what do we all reckon? Nice one. In a bit. Come on, Leeds. Leeds.
I don't want to play no games. No, I don't want to play no games. No, I don't want to hear your promises. You do you and I'll do me. That's just the way it is. Don't want to ever feel surprises. Why I ask no.